I caught you trying to steal my art style. You clicked, you rapscallion, you. Whatever, it's fine. I'm not a cop. Come on in. Anyway, I sometimes get comments from people that I have a really distinct art style and that it's super unique. But I am telling you, it's not hard if you want to draw like I do. I just have a few keystone pieces of media that really inspired me, a couple specific things, and once you know those, you can figure out how to mix them and do what I do, or do it better. Though if you do that, I might have to hunt you down and consume your art for your power. You're not safe from me. So we're going to ignore the fact that I'm actually pretty flexible with my art style for now, and just look at the core parts that show up really often. And that is the way I stylize my anatomy, the way I do my line art, my composition and posing, my super bright colors, my grungy textures, and of course my final effects and polish. Wait, hold on. That's a really long list. Okay, you know what? Actually, we're gonna split this video into two parts. We're gonna do the first 3 in this one and the next 3 in the other. Why? Because I don't have the time to make a video that long in a week. But if you want to help give me that time in the future, you could subscribe or join my Patreon. That would be super cool of you. All right, let's talk anatomy. I mostly do fairly realistic anatomy, but there are some core parts I stylize that you're gonna go, that's where that's from, when you see it. So let's start with the eyes. It's Helsing. Like, look at these. When I do my properly detailed stuff, I have them circles in the pupil and the shape and the outside lines. And Trigun also does that outside lines thing. Like, it's Helsing. And my noses. My noses are like if the Trigun manga and JoJo had a child. The general shapes, they tend to be pretty Trigun. I do a big pointy nose with a backwards S curve for the lower bit with the nostrils. But the lines on the bridge of the nose, that's JoJo. Like, I can't hide that at all. Look at these parts 3 and 4 noses. And God forbid you see me draw a nose from a low angle. They just get more JoJo-like. That's kind of the core elements to how I stylize my anatomy. And then there is my line art. I kind of struggle to point out key media for how I do my line art because almost none of the stuff I consider influential has thick lines. Like, the closest we get is Yoji Shinkawa's art for Metal Gear, and the fact that I learned traditionally using brush tip markers. Look, I don't know what it is. I hate doing thin line art. I can't do it nicely. My thin line art is what everyone else considers thick. So it's like manga art styles, but with a thicker brush. Just whatever brush you're using, crank the size up by at least 10. And go add line weight where there'd be actual weight to the object and thick shadows. That's it. That's the secret to my line art. Also, lately I've been doing like a thick, chunky, angular outline on the outside for more sketchy stuff. So you could do that too. And then there is my composition and posing. It's one of the big things I'm good at and I'm really proud of. And it's another one where I'm gonna point at Helsing. But also, Castlevania. Weirdly enough, somehow, not so much JoJo for the posing. I don't know how or why, but it just is. Most of the time, when I'm doing a big cool composition, I just use the rule of thirds. And I see how I can bend stuff as much as possible to point where I want the viewer's eye to look. Like, look at Helsing's effects and poses. That's pretty much exactly what I love doing. And as far as thinking about cool action poses go, I mean, outside of looking at Helsing, look at the cool fight scenes that Powerhouse does. They're so sick. They just have so much movement and such cool poses and shapes. So, you know, if you want to steal how much motion I have in my pieces, you gotta go look at animation too and sketch like an animator would. It's almost like I went to school for animation. Weird. Anyway, there's my secrets, or half of my secrets, laid bare for you to yoink. Go forth, have fun. I hope that this peek into my art style and inspirations was at least entertaining, and hey, if it was, you should subscribe. I think it'd be super cool to hit 1,000 subs by the end of this year, because it's the first year I am trying to do YouTube more seriously, and that would be sick as hell. Also, if you don't want to miss part 2 of this video where I'm going to go over the way I color, do texture, and finishing effects, that's another reason to subscribe. Anyway, that's all I've got for this week. So, with that, I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye!